This should be the end of Nigel Farage. This, in a normal world, would be the end of Nigel Farage. Like, you know those stories about how at school he used to racially abuse his classmates, like finding a Jewish classmate and saying things like "Mustache Man was right," or making hissing sounds to make him think the gas chambers were opening up, that kind of stuff? Well, he just got interviewed about that, and his answers did not make him look good.
Did you racially abuse fellow pupils when you were at school?
No, this is 49 years ago, by the way. 49 years ago. Have I ever tried to take it out on any individual on the basis of where they're from? No.
Kind of weird to even say that with a straight face, because his whole thing is being anti-immigration, so specifically being against people who are here on the basis of where they're from.
At school, categorically on the record, you did not racially abuse fellow pupils.
I would never, ever do it in a hurtful or insulting way.
Yeah, we're saying he only racially abused pupils in a non-hurtful way.
That's not quite the same as not doing it.
It's 49 years ago. It's 49 years ago.
What difference is it? What difference to the time?
Isn't it? Well, I just entered my teens. Can I remember everything that happened at school? No, I can't. Have I ever been part of an extremist organisation or engaged in direct, unpleasant personal abuse, genuine abuse, on that basis? No.
You're not quite, that's very, very caveated. You're not quite ruling this out. The question is, did you ever racially abuse fellow pupils in school? No. You've caveated it with a hurtful way.
Not with intent.
What do you mean not with intent? I don't understand what you mean by not with intent. What does that mean?
You wouldn't do.
But what does that mean?
He keeps repeating this not with intent thing. It's the same thing he said about Sarah Pochin, the Reform MP who said she doesn't like when she sees black and brown faces in TV adverts. That, yes, it may have been distasteful, but there was no racist intent behind those words. And this is the main problem with the way racism is discussed in the media, because we don't care what's in your heart. We care about the actions and the way it affects ethnic minorities. If you constantly put out narratives that are hostile towards ethnic minorities, we do not give a crap what's in your heart, what your intent was. In fact, arguably, the idea that the white man's intent is more important than the effects on ethnic minorities is itself a racist attitude, which makes his reaction...
I asked whether he would say sorry to any of his alleged victims. He said no, because I don't believe that I did anything that directly hurt anyone.
Even more proof of his racism. And this defense definitely doesn't work.
His party say that there's no primary evidence, and this is one person's word against another.
Because it wasn't just one of his classmates who've come forward, it's like 20 now.
Have I said things 50 years ago that you could interpret as being banter in a playground, that you could interpret in the modern light of day in some sort of way? Yes. But isn't it funny?
Okay, so you did say stuff to these people then?
Look, he was a child. He was maybe 13 or so. And if he had come on TV and said, yeah, I said some bigoted stuff when I was a kid, but I've grown since then, I've learnt my lesson, then people would understand that. But the fact is, he hasn't changed. That's the point. His friends at school in the 1960s said he was basically Hitler, and his colleagues in the 2010s say the same thing. Because Andy Wigmore, the communications director of Leave.eu, the Brexit campaign that was ran alongside Nigel Farage, literally said that the campaign he ran with Nigel Farage was the modern day version of the Nazi propaganda. So this "it was 49 years ago" defense doesn't work because he hasn't changed in 49 years. So please, and I'm not trying to ruin anybody's Christmas dinners, but maybe show this video to your right-wing relatives at the table. It'll be fun. I'm Femi. Make sure you follow F Politics, so politics doesn't F you. Have a great week.